One craft that I've wanted to get into for ages but never really taken the time to do is basket weaving. It seems like such a cool craft. You're taking natural, local, usually local materials and turning them into useful containers. It's really cool. It's a way to connect with your ancestors as well. But it always seemed like there was a bit of a barrier to entry. Like whenever I was looking up how to do it with willow from scratch, from taking willow from a tree and processing it to the point where you can weave with it. So I found out about basket weaving using brambles, and that's a resource we have a lot of in this garden. So that's what I've decided to do today. As you can see along the fence here, we've got quite a few bramble specimens. They're very spiky, and we're going to have some blackberries soon. So the ones that have got berries on I'm going to leave alone, and I'm just going to harvest from smaller, skinnier ones that aren't fruiting at the moment. So I've got this huge pile of brambles that I've collected from our woodland area in the garden. As you can see, they're quite vicious. And I was told one of the best ways to get the thorns off is to take a drinks can and punch a hole through the end, and then you can thread them through. So let's have a go at that. I think I need to take the side branches off before I can do that. No thorns. I decided to come inside because it's quite noisy outside, and also if I was working on the lawn it would be really hard to see the contrast between the green bramble stems and the grass, whereas we've got a nice light coloured floor here. So the Coke can has worked pretty well at stripping down the stems, but there's one thing. So there's more than one variety of brambles, or they grow differently. So as you can see, this one here has stripped really quite smooth, and it had thorns on it that were more like rose thorns, like these kind, where they're big sideways fins and you can snap them off quite easily. And then there are ones like this which have a lot of texture. They have a lot of really, really small thorns, and they're really hard to get off even with sliding it back and forth a few times through the aluminium can. So depending on what you want to use your basket for, you want to bear that in mind. If you're using it for something like, I don't know, a baby bassinet or a basket for fabric scraps, I wouldn't use this kind where it's really hard to get the thorns off, but it should be fine for foraging and produce like carrots. Carrots won't get damaged by that. There's probably thousands of different techniques to make baskets. Every different culture seems to have one. I'm quite a big fan of coiled ones where the stem is bent around and then you use string or fibre to sew the different layers together. But I'm not sure that the brambles, even though they're still green and they're a bit bendy, are going to be flexible enough for that. So I've seen other people use them more like wicker, where they weave them in and out, and that is what I am going to attempt to do. So I'd like to say thank you to Atomic Shrimp. I saw his video on making bramble baskets, and I'm basically going to do his technique, so I'm not really going to go over how I've done it. I'll link you to his video and you can check out his video instead. So that's the base crossbar done. So now I can start actually weaving these in and out of stems rather than just going round and round. It's just lashed it in place, hopefully. So far I'd rate it about a 2 out of 10. turns out I'm not an intuitive basket maker, so there you go. So in this state, I might hang it up as a decoration in the garden by the hornbeam, because I want to make that area into sort of like a weird pagan-y space. But I don't know whether I should just do that or whether because it kind of looks like a sun or a spider's web. Or I should try and weave these ends into something, which may make it look even worse. Who knows? Succeeded in making some weird ant mask with feelers. I'm going to turn these into a loop for hanging. A green pendulum. Woo! It's so bad. Oh, I'm not good at basketry. We can have pride of place on our wall as a piece of locally sourced folk art.